What is going on, everyone, and welcome to the Upper 90 YouTube soccer channel. Today is another hot seat take on a different manager, and that happens to be with Tottenham. We've seen Tottenham play pretty great in the beginning of the season, won their first 3 games, but in their last 3 matches, they have looked absolutely terrible. In their last match, they played against Arsenal and lost 3-1. Now, we happen to have Mikel Arteta as our first manager on the hot seat. After this win, though, they've won 3 in a row, and I think he's off the hot seat. And again, like I said, this brings in Nuno as our new manager on the hot seat. So stick around as we break this down even more. So like I said, Nuno is the new manager on the hot seat. He could be in or could be out in the next couple weeks. Now, I don't think he'll be leaving anytime soon, since Danny Levy had a really hard time finding a manager to actually want to take on Spurs, and therefore I don't think they're able to actually get rid of this player because there's not a whole lot of managers that are willing to take this job right now. But let's talk about why they may be wanting to get rid of him anytime soon. Now, like I said, they started off so strong. They won their first 3 matches 1-0. They beat Manchester City, they beat Wolves, and they beat Watford. Now, those 2 teams possibly up in the air if those are actually good teams, but beating Manchester City was a big win for them, and that was also without Harry Kane. But in the last 3 matches, they've lost to Crystal Palace, they lost to Chelsea, and they lost to Arsenal. Now, you were assuming they would lose to Chelsea. Again, that's a given almost for the most part with how Chelsea have been playing and how Tottenham have been playing. But then to lose to Crystal Palace, yes, there was a red card, but they still lost 3-0. They weren't able to do anything throughout that entire match. And then they lost to Arsenal, which we saw this past weekend, and were down 3-0 within the first half. And again, I'm not too sure what Nuno is even doing right now for Tottenham, because in the midfield, it's just a barren land. There's no one there. Højbjerg is just being bombarded by multiple players. Dele Alli is just off doing other things. Their other midfielders just are nowhere to be found. Harry Kane does not look like he wants to play for the club, and just a shell of himself from last year. So again, he's almost a player that's really doing nothing out there. The only player that looks like he wants to do something is Son, and yet he wasn't really able to do much either. He did end up scoring a goal in the Arsenal match, but again, it was already too late for them. Now, the reason why he is on the hot seat is not just because of the last 3 losses. It's because how Tottenham have been looking in this whole entire season. Like I said, they won their first 3 games, a little bit of luck, but in the last 3, not so much as the luck has gone for them. So going over some of their season stats that they have right now, let's look at this. They are right now in shots 20th, chances from open play 20th, shots faced 19th, and distance covered 20th. This is why he's on the hot seat right now, because overall it would be one thing if Tottenham were looking a lot better and just barely losing these games, but they look absolutely terrible. They look like relegation team right now, and the fact that they're making other teams look good is one of the main issues, because the amount of money they pumped into this team, you were expecting them to do a lot better. And maybe there's just some issues going on right now. The philosophy isn't going, because again, it is a new manager, but you expect after 6 weeks you'd have to have something going on, and right now it doesn't look like there's any type of system going on. Everyone seems to be doing their own thing, which could be a huge problem. Now, Tottenham are a little bit lucky because they only have 1 more game in the Premier League before we have international break. Along with that, they do have a Europa Conference game coming this Thursday. So again, who knows how that will go. But overall in the Premier League, it's really kind of up in the air right now, because their next match is going to be against Aston Villa. And Aston Villa is not a team that anyone's going to be pushing aside this year. Again, I know I've mentioned it before. They are a team that lost, obviously, Jack Grealish this window, but they've been looking really good this entire season. They're making a lot of teams struggle against them. They just beat Manchester United, and therefore I don't think Tottenham's really going to have an easy time playing against them. Now, do I think they can beat them? Sure, of course, but I don't see them actually beating this. And then again, they're going into that international break. So going on a 4-game losing streak and then taking a break may be very difficult to get the team motivated. After that, then they come back, they play Newcastle, which again should be a game that they win. If they don't, that could be the last game for Nuno if they lose against Aston Villa and against Newcastle, because after that, this whole season is just a wash from there. And then they go on to play West Ham, which again is another team that can easily beat them. Then they play Manchester United. So again, they don't have an easy schedule coming in October. Along with that, they also have another Europa Conference game in there as well. So again, they're going to be playing quite a few matches in October. And again, if they don't win any of these games, it might be the last chance that Nuno has to coach this team. So right now, he is on the hot seat. I want to know what you think. So comment down below if you think Nuno deserves to stay with Tottenham or if they should get rid of him sooner than later, because again, it doesn't seem like it's fitting out for them right now. I do like the manager. I thought he was a great manager for Wolves, but it doesn't seem like it's fitting out for Tottenham as of right now. So that is all I have for you today. And again, if you are new to this channel, make sure to like and subscribe down below. I greatly appreciate that. So we will see you next time.